Welcome back to the podcast, everyone. I'm Will. I'm joined by my co-host over here, the Grease. Say hello, Grease.
What's up, everybody? We are totally fine. We are not hurting at all. We are well rested. We're good to go.
Did you drink last night? I did. Sunday? Here's what I've learned from Whiskey Weekend. You can't just cold turkey Whiskey Weekend.
I cold turkeyed it.
Oh, terrible choice.
Honestly,
you're dragging today. I saw you. You got to stair step it, bud. You got to stair step it.
Yeah, that's fair.
Hey, we're actually live this week. So if you're getting the podcast on Tuesday, that's because we decided to do a live recap. We couldn't pre-do that and get the audio to you first. I mean, we probably could have, but our wives would have killed us if we had said, hey, honey, Sunday, recording. We're doing it live, everyone. Next week, we'll get back to our premiere schedule, and we'll be back as we're doing. So I decided we would have our first pour as this Colonel Taylor single barrel.
Now, this is a Whiskey Weekend treat.
Yeah. So this was opened this weekend, but during Whiskey Weekend Batch 1, we went to Buffalo Trace, and they only bottle the E.H. Taylor single barrel, at least back then, twice a year, 2 days a year.
You're right.
And this was one of the days that we visited. They were bottling this E.H. Taylor single barrel. Our buddy Travis, he hunted it down. And on batch 2, a lot of people signed it, everyone there. So this has remained unopened until Whiskey Weekend.
And I was unfortunate to not get a pour.
So I decided I'd bring it over here. I got to share this with Jason, Natalie, Travis, and Michelle. And I think Melissa may have at some point gotten to try some, but details are fuzzy. And at one point I found a photo on my phone of me and her making a mean face at the door next to yours. So she may have had it around that time, who's to say. But
that doesn't taste like 100 proof.
This is a special pour. We'll get the night started off. Hey, if you went to Whiskey Weekend Batch 5, look at your text messages. We texted you earlier today. I sent one that said, hey, would you upload any photos to this drive that you may have? I'm afraid of what Zach Jones may put up, but we are, we also sent out a phone number. So if you were an attendee, call that phone number to call into the show. And it is live, so it's going to be dangerous, but the phone number's there. You can call in and share a memory or something you forgot from Whiskey Weekend Batch 5.
So we officially opening up the lines?
Phone lines are open. Yeah, go ahead and give us a call.
Phone lines are open.
And if you don't call, that's okay. We've got plenty of stories to tell and a few we can make up as well. But
I even got video supportive.
Cheers to this. Yeah, this is let's talk about what our favorite moments were. And I think first we have to get a super chat in from Jason Newman, $20 super chat. Thank you, buddy. I've got 2 words for you. Waffle House. Thank you, Will and Shayla. So Jason, Natalie, Shayla, and I went to Waffle House, and this has been something
I've never seen someone so excited about a waffle.
You talking about me or are you talking about Jason?
I'm talking about Shayla.
Oh, yeah. She was pretty excited.
She was like, what do they do to those waffles?
Yeah, so good.
They are good.
So we did go to the Waffle House because Jason has been trying to do
just a Waffle House run.
Yeah, a Waffle House run for 5 years now. And we finally got to do it. We had breakfast there on Thursday morning. It was delightful. I ordered, I taught people how to order. It's all good. They loved it. We went to the bad Waffle House, which I think was better.
Right. 100%.
So that was
the one where there was questionable legal activity going on.
I mean, there's always questionable legal activity going on at Waffle House.
That's fair.
But it was not the newer one. It was the older one.
Right.
Of which are about 1.5 miles apart. So they're very close.
So same territory, but just newly built.
Yeah. And so we went there. That's Jason Newman's favorite activity. But we also have a call coming in. Do you want to go ahead and take our first call?
100%.
This is James Waddell.
Oh,
which we officially now, James, keep it PG. We're live on the internet, and we don't want our monetization to go away. Okay, so I'm going to put you on the air, and I'm going to hold my breath for a minute. James, you're on the air.
How you doing, boys?
James,
good.
I can't. I can't tell you how much I enjoyed smashing whiskey with you, sir. There were so many one-liners.
With you guys.
What's that, buddy?
I had so much fun with you guys. It was so much fun hanging out with everybody. But I got to say, one of my highlights was getting to stand right where you boys are sitting right now with all my whiskey friends and all this podcast listeners. And it was so cool, you Grease and your beautiful bride, Lauren, just to like let us come into your house and poke around. And I mean, you pulling up that Eagle Rare 17, that was epic, man. That was legendary. Something I'll never forget.
Wait, what?
You knew that.
No.
You don't watch my socials.
Lord, no. That's a terrible idea. You opened the Eagle Rare 17?
I sure did.
Well, why am I pouring this?
Oh, my God, Will.
You got to pour it for me.
I will pour it for you.
Don't drink half the daggum bottle.
Well, because there was 50 people in my basement. Shayla was in charge of pours. And, dude, she was like, drip, 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 drip. She did awesome.
Well,
and everybody got to taste it. No, there was like, we spontaneously, and James, you can back me up and interject anywhere you want, but we spontaneously just said, hey, I called Lauren and I said, hey, I want to bring people to the Nook. I think it's right. And she's like, okay. And I had kind of thought I would bring like a couple, 2 or 3 people over here, but I kind of felt like everybody needed the opportunity if they wanted to. So after Jack Daniels, I sent out a text to everybody, gave them my address, and we all came over here.
Did she know that you were asking everyone to come?
I don't know. Probably
Maybe we
not.
should go upstairs and review the tape. And actually, I think I would just like to hear the footage from the Ring camera. It's recorded. I'm certain there's some profanities on it.
What Ring camera for what? When everybody
when
just
everyone's
showed up?
coming up and her looking out the window.
I told everybody to come around to the back.
Yeah, but I did see a
Stealth.
text that said, hey, bud, the gate's locked.
Yeah, it's not locked. You just have to push down on it, and that was hard.
You know what? That would probably be some details people would like to hear.
All right, James, when you walked into the Nook, what was the atmosphere? What was the scenario?
Well, I was that first group to walk in, but it got real busy in there real quick. But everybody was just taking pictures and selfies. Everybody was just like really excited. It was just a good energy in there. And you were just taking pictures with everybody. You know, you were grabbing the microphones, you know, putting it in people's faces, taking goofy pictures, just being an awesome host, man. It was just so much fun to just be there. And then, you know, Maggie, your dog, starts running around, and Lauren comes down, starts popping popcorn. It was just like, man, these people are so gracious to have us in their house and just, you know, be so welcoming.
Hey, James.
Amazing, man. That was one of my favorite memories.
Hey, quick question. Does it look bigger on TV than it does in person?
100%.
That's what I thought. Yeah. Not the first time we've heard that.
The camera adds definitely like
some width, some width,
like
room.
50 square feet.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So James, what did you think about the Eagle Rare 17?
Yeah. Pour it up for me.
It was scrumdiddly.
It was scrumdiddly. Did you get enough to even taste it?
I got a ton. Yeah, I got a ton of cherry, but man, we just kept, everybody I know was just like me and Andy and Thomas Rabbit. We were all just sniffing that nose, just savoring that. And I've got a couple other B-Tech pours. Kim Schwartz and Mark were so generous up in their room, you know, with some George C. Stagg. There's so many great pours, so many people just throwing stuff out on that bottle share table. Just so many laughs. I remember the last night, late night, I think it was Will's room. Dan pulled down his jeans and showed off a tattoo on his thigh. That is a brown bear tattoo.
Yeah.
That pretty much goes across his whole thigh. That blew my
Rob.
mind.
Yeah, Rob. It was Rob.
It was Rob.
Rob. Yeah. Oh my
Thighs
God.
of Steel.
Yeah, so many fun memories. And all the late night lobby parties, man.
Yeah, the lobby parties ended up being like a thing that we couldn't have done anywhere else for some reason. As soon as the restaurant and the bar were closed, they did not care that we were down there.
Well, they didn't care we were down there, period.
Right.
They didn't care that we had alcohol down there.
And we had 40 to 50 bottles on a tiny live edge coffee table.
Oh yeah, like the wood had huge cracks in it and like gap, you know.
Yeah,
whatever.
Yeah.
gaseous.
James, thank you for calling in, buddy. I'm glad that you and I got to bond over some Auburn memories and foster our friendship a little bit more. But I really appreciate you coming. Can't wait to see you soon.
Yeah, boys. Love you guys.
Love you too, buddy.
See you,
Dude, James had some of the crush one-liners of the weekend.
Oh yeah. No, he's got a quick wit about him.
He does have a quick wit about him. The issue is, and Nick Jones and I were talking about this, we can't remember it. Like we know Sim Salzman too. Me and
Sim called me out because, and I do this with a lot of people, even if they have a non-normal first name or non-common, rather, I should say.
Yeah.
Like I call Bob, which is a very common name, but I call Bob Little. I call a lot of people their full name, and I call him Sim Salzman. He's like, "You sound like my mother."
Oh, I call him Sim.
Yeah, well, you just said Sim Salzman.
Well, for those people to know.
Yeah. Well, I will say we got a super chat here.
Hey, don't look him up online, Holden Rice.
This is from Josh, which I loved getting to hang out with Josh and get to know him better. He was on the Cool Bus. And so we shared a lot of whiskey starting at 8 a.m.
I shared a moment with Josh too.
Josh said, love to see everyone again. Best memories for me were one, getting the signatures on the JD Barrelhead, which was awesome. He picked up a Barrelhead at Jack Daniels. And then Melissa trying to order McDonald's at 3 a.m. Do you know this story?
I vaguely know the story. I think there was something like I just ordered like 80 cheeseburgers in her hometown.
No. So we were downstairs and Josh handed his phone to Melissa, who should not have been texting or anything at this point. Right. And Melissa said, "Oh, McDonald's is open." And by the way, it's 3 a.m. Nothing around us is open. And I'm pretty sure I may have offered that tidbit, but it fell on drunk ears. And I said, "Hey, whatever." And then she goes, "Oh, ordered." And then we're like, "Oh, great. How many did you?" She's like, 50. And she goes, "Oh no, I think I just ordered 50 cheeseburgers to Kansas City." And it was to
Kansas City, like
because it was Josh's phone, and so it was in his home city. She didn't adjust the address, and so yeah, that
what they do.
They got it canceled.
Okay, good.
To my recollection,
good deal.
There was a phone call involved.
Details were fuzzy.
Yeah.
All right. So, Will,
yeah,
favorite moment of the weekend for you?
Favorite. There's two different things. Like coolest moment for me, or favorite moment for me, because those are two different.
Favorite.
Okay.
Do we have any calls, by the way? Because I know you've got.
No, we have 0 calls.
Okay.
So once again, if you went to Whiskey Weekend, look at your text messages from earlier. We sent a text out that has the call-in phone number. You've been getting text messages from that number all week, so you know which one to look for. And then, you should call in and give us a memory or such. But I think my favorite moment was I don't know if I can say that one. It involves your mom. But
you can say it.
Well,
if she says it in public, she's totally fine with it going on YouTube.
Well, I will just say she was very upset that the alcoholic mocha whipped cream that was purchased at Turok's store wasn't working. So much so she was demanding that we turn the bus around and go back to Turok's store to exchange it for a non-faulty one.
Right.
And then it didn't take but 30 seconds longer, and she got it figured out. And so I have a picture of her literally just shooting mocha whipped cream into her mouth on the bus.
I saw that one.
And Drew Bowen's like horrified.
And it was like laced with vodka,
yeah,
right?
It was alcoholic whipped cream.
Yeah.
So there's probably a reason
why
why
it doesn't laced.
Yeah, you did say laced. Laced has an air of illicity.
Right. I should probably.
All right. This is from McWhiskey, a $50 super chat. Wow. Thank you so much to that. Wow. Y'all killed it. Appreciate the great times. Went a little bit hard first night with you guys and limped through the rest of the weekend. Shout out to Eric Wyndham on those bottles, though.
I will say this about everybody.
Yeah.
Y'all rallied.
Oh, yeah.
Because I don't remember seeing anybody the next day and be like, oh, man, that guy is donezo.
So what was your favorite thing?
Oh, my favorite thing?
Yeah.
It involves Sim. No, it doesn't. It's Nick Jones. Sim, you need to call in though and tell us about your favorite thing about the weekend.
Was your favorite thing the prank?
Yes, of course it's the prank.
Should we play the video?
Yeah, let's just play the video and y'all tell me if it's funny because I think it's freaking funny.
All right, we're gonna play a little video. This is from the final. No, from
it was like the second night. It was like Thursday night.
No, or was this Saturday night?
No, it wasn't Saturday night.
It was Thursday night. So this is
Zach Jones didn't.
Yeah. So
It's
this
one
is
of the
Thursday
nights.
night. We'll play a little video for you. Let us know what you think.
All right, so we're here at Whiskey Weekend. We're doing a little bottle share here in the suite, and Will's suite is just above us, and he's also having a bottle share. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go upstairs, kind of like 3 by 3, probably 3's fine. 3, yeah. So 3 of us at a time are gonna go up there, chill for about 5 minutes, snag a bottle and bring it back down here. And we're going to do that in multiple groups until they don't have any more bottles on their table. Will, I love you. Okay, and now the greatest idea ever is so that we don't show up there empty-handed, we're going to bring them our empties and put them on the thing. Nick, you genius.
Yes.
All right, so who's going up first? Nick?
Yep, I'll go.
Zach? Yep.
Richard? Yep.
Ricardo?
That's right, Ricardo.
All right, so who's going?
You're coming in.
It's our front line.
So,
Oh, okay.
we're
Yeah,
doing
so
is-
tell them what we're doing.
All right, so what we're doing is we're getting a bunch of empty bottles, and we're gonna bring it up, and we're gonna drop in the empty bottles and bring back the good stuff. That's the plan.
Yeah, over time. So in the next hour, they're not going to have any more whiskey.
We'll be back.
All right.
Go up the stairs. What are you doing? Stairs.
Come on, Zach.
All right, Zach. Zach came back with how was it? What happened up there?
It was very hard. There's not that many balls.
Okay. All right, well, add it to the table. All right, hey, Zach, do you think you could go up again?
I'll try.
We have an empty wild turkey box. 12 boxes you can take up there and set it down.
Hey, grab the box and make sure you grab the stag that's there.
Oh yeah.
There's a stag shooter up there.
There's a full one?
Yeah.
That's a good trade-off.
That's a good trade-off. Adam's going. Adam's going.
Adam's going. All right, Adam. We'll see you, buddy. You okay? All right. Hey, schmooze a little bit. Nick, so why did y'all go back so fast?
I literally walked in. There's like 8 people there and 8 bottles. I put it down. I was like, reset me, and I grabbed the bottles and walked out.
You said grease sick you?
I gotta throw somebody in the bus. I'm not taking the hit.
Unbelievable. Dude, I used to like you.
Yeah, well, some people do. Some people don't. It's just normal.
Okay, so we're going to be super high alert right now because if Will sends down people, we just need to be careful because people are coming in and out. Sometimes they're good people, sometimes they're going to be bad people, so we're going to be on high alert.
I'm seeing it going, man.
Yeah, open the door and be like, you good or bad? Oh, we got the
So, one problem, they're definitely onto it. So I'm gonna hide somewhere now. Yelling up above us.
So, couple things about this quote unquote prank of Grease's. They're just walking in, setting something down, and walking out. Like, we're literally like, this is so stupid. You're 7 years old. You actually are 7 years old. So later, after this happens a few times, and literally we're just talking, like we're so docile up there. Like, we did not care. We're like, okay, that's it is what it is. I'd go back into my room, bring out more bottles. And then finally Grease texts me, y'all come down here. And I was like, why? We're having a good time up here. And he goes, we just pulled off a prank and we filmed it. And I'm like,
I didn't say we pulled off a prank.
We did a prank. Okay. Yeah. Pulled off. We did a prank and we filmed it. And so we eventually go down there and he's like, here, let me show you the video. He shows me that video, of which I go, you just filmed the idea of a prank. It's like if you were the host of Jackass and it's a bunch of people around a table and you're like, and then we're going to get Wee Man and launch him out of a cannon. Down.
What was that?
I don't know. There's always noises in here. And then the theme song plays and then they go to the next brainstorming session at a table. Like there was no payoff. You didn't actually
We got the stag.
Nah, you needed body cam footage. You needed a GoPro.
I text
You did not
Zach.
film a prank. You filmed commentary surrounding a prank, but there was no prank actually filmed. That's all I'm saying.
Well, I told Zach to film, and he did not film. Zach says
that's not my problem.
It was hilarious, dude.
Was it?
Yes, it was. Did you hear how hard I was laughing?
Yeah, typically when you laugh that hard, not that funny. I mean, I'm glad people enjoyed it. I'm glad we had a 4-minute commentary track to play over the prank you didn't see happen. But it was so solid. Let me tell you, Nick Jones, Zach Jones, Adam Shelton, horrible stealth.
Richard Reck was up there too.
Yeah.
He went
all I'm saying is horrible stealth. They literally.
Well, no, and Nick Jones goes in there, goes, Grease sent me, puts it down, and then walks off.
Amazing.
Yeah, it was foiled. But however, I told them to film when they go up there. I texted him.
Zach said he did not know that he was supposed to film. So,
well, he said that because I texted him, he didn't look at his text. He was too scared.
I don't know. You don't look at your text either. So,
well,
all right. Have I been sauntering on this 17?
What about that nose?
It's so good.
It smells so good. All right, that was definitely one of my favorite moments. Was that prank?
I'm glad
because it lasted like, I don't know, it was like 30 minutes.
It wasn't as long as I think you think it was.
It wasn't.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, we're at it.
So, what's your favorite one?
Well, I did say one of my favorite moments was your mom and the whipped cream.
Yes, that's fair.
One of the coolest things I would say, though, and probably one of my favorites, was the liquor store crawl. So that's something that we've dreamed up for years. We wanted to just do it locally, just rent a bus and go hit liquor stores.
Oh, right.
And so what we did is we had these 2 giant, completely blacked out tour buses.
Yeah,
and they were gorgeous.
We looked important.
And literally they each hold like 55 people. Beautiful. And we went to liquor stores on them, and just seeing people in the parking lots faces at these liquor stores we would go to when the bus pulls up and just a bunch of people walk right off out the bus and straight into the liquor store was worth the price of admission for me.
Right.
And when we came up, when we decided to do it in our hometown, we're like, oh, this is the perfect time we can try to pull off the liquor store crawl. And that was probably the most could go either way event, right? Like, because in concept, it is like we're going on buses to liquor stores, right? Like, there's a lot of ways people could take that. But and I know for a fact, like, I talked to some people and they're like, I didn't know how to, like,
yeah, my
really
buddy Mike from Ride or Die, he said, I'll be honest with you, man, I didn't think that was going to be fun.
Right. And it ended up for a lot of people being one of their favorite parts. We went to Don out in Fairview at Fairview Fine Wines and Liquors. We had lunch out there. We spent time, and in Tennessee, you can sample at liquor stores. So we were just drinking the store picks he had available and some other things as well. And then after about a little over an hour, we raffled off some allocated product. Yeah. And so I think Lot B was the high end there, and then there was
we had a Lot B
special reserve. There was Blanton's, Eagle Rare, a couple other things mixed in as well.
Yeah. Old Rip at Tarox.
Yeah, as well as a Weller 12 and a Midwinters. So then we went to Tarox down at Elixir in Spring Hill. And we, if anyone's been to Tarox, you know that it can be quite compact. So we had to split off, and
we really couldn't do 80 people there.
Yeah, one went to Red Dog, one went to Tarox, and then we switched. And at Red Dog, there was a 9-year Purple Top Willett family estate. There was a 10-year Widow Jane and some other products as well. And we just went and made some purchases, some economic impact on the city and to our friends as well. But also then we drank a lot on the bus. I picked up a 4-gate batch 23 Barossa Creek. It was a Burai, and we drank that on the bus. People would bring things, they'd open things they bought, and so the bottle share continued along the lines. And so we just hit up 3 amazing stores with 3 amazing owners, and drank a lot and laughed a lot and made some memories. So yeah, what do you
we did. Yeah, I mean, I loved going to Fairview first. Everybody got to go together. That was probably the highlight for me. Don has an incredible space, supported everybody there. He's also super generous. All the liquor stores were super generous, but I really enjoyed us being able to come together in one of them before we split up. That was nice.
Our buddy Ty Gallenbeck, who did not get to come this year, but has been to every other whiskey weekend, said, I'm really surprised the buses didn't drive around in circles for an hour.
They technically did.
Yeah,
we started
around
at the
Williamson
hotel.
County. But that's a throwback to Whiskey Weekend Batch 2 when our bus got lost in Louisville looking for the lunch place. So Thank you for the super chat, Ty. We appreciate you.
Right.
And then Mark also said, Mark Boyer, after seeing all the fun and hijinks, I'm sorry I missed it. Love you guys. Can't wait to meet you in person, Mark. Mark is a virtual barn night guy now, so we've got to hang out with him, and that was quite fun. So,
Mark.
So hopefully we'll get to hang out with you in person sometime. But let's see. Anybody want to call? Give us a call if you got
one
the text
call.
message.
That's all.
Yeah. And also you won't miss too much if you call right now, since there's no one ahead of you. As soon as it pops up, I'll answer it. Grease, what was the coolest part for you? So
honestly, man, like in batch 3 and 4, you and I were just busy.
Yeah.
We were so busy. We did each tasting every day. Then we had the main event that we'd have to rush to make sure we were good to go there.
Yeah.
Then we were having to stay after late, kind of pack up a little bit and then head on out. And then we would finally get to bottle shares like at 11 o'clock at night.
Right.
And so 11 o'clock at night till, 2 in the morning, you're looking at, being exhausted and only 3 hours to hit all the suites and see everybody. So this year we got to hang out all day. Then we had like a dinner break, and then we got to hang out for the rest of the night from like 8 o'clock till 2 in the morning.
Right.
So it was there was a ton of bandwidth for you and me. This really felt right. This really felt like it was what Whiskey Weekend set out to be. And it ended up being exactly where we landed on this one. And honestly, it was the best one yet, in my opinion.
I would agree with that. I do think it was the best one yet. I would say that it had the charm of the first 2, the magic of the first 2 that we really wanted to capture. And Louisville, the 2 years there were unbelievable, and obviously had a ton of people return. So that's great. But I think that all in all, it was probably perfected Whiskey Weekend.
Mm-hmm.
I think the one thing I would add would be a single night. Like, we didn't have a ballroom or anything, but if we got like a ballroom, one thing, like say Friday night or something, we had a ballroom for just like an hour and a half and did a live podcast like we did at Beaumont. Whereas you and me, it may not ever make it to the public, but it's mostly us just riffing off the stories of the weekend.
Yeah.
That was basically what the live shows were at Beaumont. And we bombed it one year at Gald House when we tried to do the same thing, probably because we didn't have as much FaceTime with people. And so
yeah, we had no stories.
We didn't absorb the stories the way that we did this year. So I think we could have done that and had a blast, and people would have thought it was a lot of fun. That's the only thing I would have added to this. But I think
some sort of
that,
production element for us to at least document it.
Yeah, and it didn't have to be anything too fancy. Like I think the way we did it at Beaumont would have been fun in front of this crowd. So that's what I would say.
Yeah.
Our buddy Sim did send a super chat. Thank you. Said, I'm still in the lobby. Miss you guys. It was amazing. All right. If he's still in the lobby, I'm out.
Yeah.
I'm going to go over there right now.
Give me 10 minutes, Sim.
Grabbing a couple bottles and heading your way. I had a blast hanging out with Sim, getting to know him a lot better.
Good people.
He, to me, really affected this whiskey weekend a lot. And he's like, he's going to say this. Don't call me out by name, but he and I had a chat at Whiskey Weekend Batch 4 where it was in the tasting, the VIP tasting, of which we didn't do VIP tastings like that this year.
Right.
But he loved the personal hang time in that small of a setting at that one. He's like, this is probably my favorite part. I wish there was more of this. And when we were developing the concept for this Batch 5, Homecoming 1, obviously we're welcoming people to our hometown, the hospitality that goes along with that. We're much more familiar with this place and everything. We wanted to also make an opportunity to really spend more time with people, which, like we said, it was not possible to do at Batch 5 as much. But we do have to go real quick because we've got Josh here, and I know he's just got a quick
from Stuff and Whiskey.
Here. Yeah, but it is auto screen, but I think it's Josh
Gull.
Yes. You there, buddy?
It is me.
Awesome.
How are you guys doing?
We're good.
Josh is on a date night tonight with Aaron.
Yeah, we're having a little makeup date night from the weekend. But yeah, man, it was a good time, and it was a blast to be a part of. So just wanted to call in and say how much we appreciate you guys for doing all you do. I mean, you guys are OG whiskey community guys, and you've laid the groundwork for how important community is. And you know, it's way more about the people than the bottles. That's just kind of the cool icing on the cake. And it was a blast to be a part of this year.
Josh, I really loved getting to meet you in person. I know Grease did some handyman work for you, so he has a little bit better relationship with you because you've hired him before. But that's fine because you guys have this like booming channel and a lot of notoriety and fan base and everything, so you can afford to hire someone to run wires like Grease. It's totally cool. But I like getting to meet you in person. Even though we live in the same city, sometimes it's hard to make that extra time to connect when we've got busy schedules and busy lives. But it was a great opportunity to connect with you and Aaron. And I know it won't be the last. And it just kind of solidified what we already knew about you guys, how much we loved y'all.
Yeah, man, dude, I appreciate you saying that. And I don't know about all that booming channel stuff, but you know, like anything, we're just having fun like you guys. And like I said, at the end of the day, it comes back to the people. That was my favorite thing about the whole weekend. Like the events were super cool and everything, but you know, it's the late night, you know, bottle shares and hanging out in the suites and, you know, just being face to face and talking to people. And I mean, that's, you know, there's a lot of other cool things that happened over the course of the weekend that I could talk about, but at the end of the day, it was really just about hanging out with the people there and having a blast. So,
is there one cool memory?
Blast was had for sure.
Is there one like cool moment that you remember, or everything,
or a favorite moment?
Man,
yeah.
there's so many from like just the whiskey nerd standpoint. In me, I loved the massive group barrel pick, and I loved going around and talking to people about what they were getting from each of the two barrels and how it compared and contrasted. You know, we're all drinking the exact same thing, but everybody, you know, a lot of people are having a different experience. So that was really cool. And then just like on a personal level, Friday night was a night that everybody seemed to really turn up, and we were hanging out late into Friday night, at least late for us. We didn't hit the lobby after party, but we were up late Friday night, and then the room kind of cleared out, and I still had half a glass of the 2022 George T. Stag, thanks to Kim and Mark. And I knew that I didn't need to drink it that night. Like I had already been overserved. I don't know who did that, but I was like, they're gone. The room's empty. I've got this glass. So I like put the room card on top of it, and then I put something on top of that, and I saved it until the next night.
That's awesome.
That's pretty good.
Like, I'm not dumping this out.
I wish you had taken a picture of that setup just for like, this is how you whiskey weekend. If you've got a pour that all of a sudden you realize I don't need to waste on my broken, overserved palate, take your room key, weigh it down, save it till tomorrow.
Yeah, no, that's pro right there, bro. That's a pro move.
Josh, I know you got to get back
Works
to
like a charm.
I know you got to get back to your date night, but thank you for calling in and thanks so much. And everyone go subscribe to Stuff and Whiskey on YouTube. I know they'd appreciate it.
Before you leave, Josh, what did Aaron think?
She had a blast, man. She had an absolute blast. To her, it's way more about just community than the actual whiskey. She's like, I'll just show up and drink, but it's really about hanging out with people. And so she had an absolute blast doing that. She also had a pretty big night Friday night, and Saturday she was feeling it. So we're yesterday and today we're dry. Although I think Will might be onto something with this stair step down. I'm
telling you, buddy, it's called weaning yourself off of whiskey weekend. I've done it 5 times now, so I'm kind of a pro.
Yeah, absolutely, man.
Well,
I appreciate the heck out of you guys.
Yeah, man.
Again, for all you do, for all you've done. We count ourselves lucky to be able to be a part of this community that you guys helped build, to be honest. I mean, that's my take on it. So
awesome.
Yeah, we had a blast. Can't wait. Everybody listening, subscribe to our channel if you like it. Don't if you don't. I don't care about that. Start counting down the days to next whiskey weekend. So,
well, once we have a date, if we have a date, Josh, we'll let you know. We're tired.
Yeah, absolutely. Give yourself a week off.
We'll take a week.
Have a good night, buddy.
All right, y'all too. Bye.
See you, bud.
Awesome.
So Stuff and Whiskey, Josh and Aaron was a new addition this year.
Yes.
We just wanted them to come and hang because we know how cool they are.
Yeah.
Or at least I did. And then you found out.
Yeah.
I did find out this weekend though from Kim that the first time I went over there to pull cables, like Aaron called Kim and was like, I don't know about this green stuff. Like what's about to come into my house situation. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Cause all they see is nutso.
Yeah.
And I mean, you kind of get nutso with me.
Right.
But I mean, it
100%.
was, but I just thought that was hilarious. I was like, Kim was like, yeah, Aaron called me like asking about like who you were, how you were.
Should have called me. I would have been like, he's clearly joking. He does not know how to run cable.
I did it pro.
He did say that when you showed up with a drill and said, I'm about to drill some holes in your floor, he did call a couple friends. He's like, I'll be right back. What's that? Is this really how you do it?
He did?
Yeah.
Is that for real?
Is what he told me. Oh, it's my favorite.
Josh.
All right. We've got a super chat from Ben who joined us this weekend. It was good to get to meet you, buddy. What a weekend. Great chance to really meet a great group of people. Favorite moment, either winning the Stag at Fairview or Leapers Fork. So the Stag was one of the raffled off bottles. Yeah. At Fairview. And then Fairview we did the unofficial world's largest barrel pick. And we went there. First of all, it was the right speed for Saturday. After going hard for several days, you have this beautiful drive out to Fairview. To Leapers Fork, Tennessee. And you pull up to the distillery, which is absolutely gorgeous. And we had Martin's Barbecue, which is local barbecue here. And it's absolutely
the pulled pork slade.
But we were out and there were fire pits. It was a chilly day. It was just, like I said, it was gorgeous. And then we went in and they had pulled 2 barrels and we did them totally blind. We actually went and got some bottles from the bottle shop to get people acclimated if they've never had Leapers Fork, because there's not wide distribution of their Tennessee whiskey and bourbon. Then we went into the still house and they had barrel A and barrel B. And
Yeah, let's
you
talk
could
about the drama of barrel A and barrel
taste
B.
them as much as you wanted. Now, we could, let's see, we do have two.
All right, let's get to calls.
2 callers. We'll take these 2 callers and then we'll hold. We'll tell you about the barrel pick after this. So, first caller in is, let's take John White.
Oh,
So
John.
he's a local boy he's a return, or as we say, repeat offender at Whiskey Weekend now. John, how you doing, man?
All right, how you guys doing tonight?
Good. It's good to hear your voice, buddy. I miss it already.
Yeah, my favorite moment was probably getting to see the Nook.
Oh, okay.
And meeting Grease's family. His daughters are great kids. Yeah, it was really a fun weekend. Got to meet a lot of people I didn't know, and a lot of new people that I made friends with. So that's the great part about the weekend.
Well, I think one of my favorite parts about the weekend is that James Waddell brought a cast still decanter from 1969 that had old Rip Van Winkle sitting on it.
A bearded fella.
Yeah, a bearded fella. And John White was a striking resemblance of that decanter with your glorious beard. So there's an awesome photo. I think Grease put it up at The Real Grease on Instagram. You can see it.
I think it was a story, but maybe
it was
I'll
a story.
just
He'll
post it.
repost the picture because it's beautiful seeing you next to the decanter.
It is. John, you there?
Yeah, I'm still here. All right. That's all I wanted to say, guys.
Did you have a favorite pour of the weekend, John?
Oh, gee, that's a tough one. Probably the WLW from this year was one of my favorite pours.
I didn't have that.
So Chad and Sarah brought that as one of their celebration pours because they hit 100,000 subscribers on YouTube while we were at Whiskey Weekend.
Oh, that's cool.
And they had the 2016 George T. Stagg, which was the year that they started. And then they had this year's WLW. And John, that one was a special pour. I do agree. Thank you for calling in, buddy. I'm going to get to this other call, but hope to see you soon at Sinkers. And if anyone wants to go check out Sinkers in Nashville.
See you, buddy.
All right. We've got Andy Payne calling.
Andy Payne's calling.
So I'm going to put him on the air real quick. Andy, what's up, buddy?
Not much. Just having an old-fashioned, just kind of retoxing before the detox.
I love it. You got to dehydrate to rehydrate.
Easing into a nice easy couple of weeks before I'm back in Nashville for a wedding in 2 weeks.
You're really hitting the wedding circuit these days.
Yeah, I'm the 20-something. You're in the weddings.
Oh yeah.
And when you're 50-something, your friends' kids are getting married, or your
You don't look a day over 62.
Thanks, man.
Yeah.
No, I want to say Leapers for Jack Daniels was incredible.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, what a great day there. Mary Bobo giving us breakfast. Chris Fletcher coming to talk to us unexpectedly. That was awesome. But Leapers Fort was unexpected and gorgeous and beautiful. And I told my wife, I said, when we come back in 2 weeks, we're coming back by here on the way home.
Yeah.
And you need to see how beautiful this countryside, this place. I said, because, I haven't gotten her up to Kentucky to the Bourbon Trail, but Leapers Fork felt like the closest thing.
Yeah.
And
dynamite vacation for you and your wife if you just stay in downtown Franklin at the Harpeth Hotel.
Either that or get a Airbnb out in Leapers Fork.
Oh, you could do that.
Some historic homes.
We're staying in Nashville for the wedding at the Moxie, I think. But on the way home, I said, we're just getting up Sunday and coming home, and it's only 4 hours home. So I said, we're definitely making a detour. I asked them, I said, what are your hours on Sunday? They were like, this is the time, we're open, come on. And I want her to experience, like, this is part of why I love this whole culture so much.
Yeah.
It would be a blast to see her there. Well, I mean, dude, we've made believers out of a lot of spouses.
Yep.
We're still working on ours.
But... Well, do they? Oh yeah. Well, another cool moment was Lauren's face when the Nook got more and more and more and more crowded.
Yeah.
But she told me, and I told you this, Grease. She looked over and she said, look at him and look at him back there. He is living his best life. And look at all these happy people. And that was definitely a very cool moment for a lot of people. So
Yeah.
I just wanted to say that. Say Leapers Fort was great. The whole weekend was excellent. I wish I could have come all 4 nights instead of just 2. But fantastic weekend overall.
Well, you were definitely missed the first 2, but we're glad you made it to the rest, and we'll see you again soon, buddy.
All right. Love you guys.
Love you too, buddy. Later, man. Do we have another call?
Yeah, we do. I'm gonna it's Melissa. I'll pick her up in just a second. Melissa, just hold for me real quick because you just came through. But I did want to talk about the Leapers Fort pick real quick.
Yeah.
So we had 2 stations, barrel A, barrel B. They were completely blind. We didn't know if they were their bourbon, their Tennessee whiskey, potentially their rye, which would have been next level because they only can produce a few barrels of that a year. But essentially, then we all went and tasted. You could taste back and forth as pretty much as many times as you wanted. And then you voted A or B. You fold it in half. You put it in this clear box. And once everyone had voted, I think we had 57 to 30. So we had 87 people voted for the whiskey. And it turns out one was one of their Tennessee whiskeys and one was one of their bourbons. And one was 6.5 years old, 5.5 years old, respectively. And A1.
Yes.
A1.
As it should have. You and I were sweating bullets over there.
I thought they were delicious. I thought they were both
both great.
You could tell there was a little bit more age, and because their bourbon is a wheated bourbon, it was very corn forward. It was sweet, but it was very corn forward. I really wanted it to have another like 6 months to a year.
Yeah.
Like get through a really hot summer. And I think some of that corn would have been shaved off, but not, and just balanced with the barrel influence. But I thought the one that won, I thought it just fired on all cylinders.
It did. Yeah. I mean, it's not saying that B was bad at all. It was not. You're dealing with 2 different mash bills. That was the bourbon mash bill, which was 70% corn, 15% barley, 15% wheat. The Tennessee whiskey was 70% corn, 15% rye, and 15% barley.
Yep.
That rye, I don't know what they're doing at Leapers, but as soon as they start adding rye to everything just starts acting like
it's like
it's on fire.
It's like a floral rye. It's delicious to me.
It is.
Yeah.
I agree with that. The ryes that I've tasted at Leapers, and I've only gotten to do it once, but it was stupid.
Yeah.
It was dumb.
I have an unopened bottle of the rye. We'll drink it together.
Yeah, you will.
That to say, though, I love what they're doing. I love Lee. Lee Kennedy is the proprietor out there. He had some stuff come up and wasn't able to be there that day, but really just he's the heart and soul of hospitality.
Yeah.
He really gets it.
Well, his team did such a good job in his absence.
And they loved on our people. They made sure everyone was having a good time, enjoying the space, and just it was perfect. Like it absolutely was perfect.
Yeah, I shook everybody's hand from Leapers and said, just thank you for rolling out the red carpet, because that's exactly what they did.
Yeah. So Melissa is on the phone, and she once again overworked herself, and she was not there to work. She was there to have fun. And she did have plenty of fun too. I'm not going to take that away from her, but you helped.
I had plenty of fun. All right. It's all good.
But you did.
You ordered some cheeseburgers and everything.
Yeah.
I ordered 50 cheeseburgers to Kansas and overnight. It was awesome.
But you did help organize the Women of Whiskey Weekend hangout this year, which was a special bottle share exclusively for women, unless you're Travis Gentz, who kept trying to crash it. Totally fine. But tell us a little bit about that.
Right.
Tell us a little bit about that.
Oh my gosh, you guys, it was awesome. So we had probably 25 to 30 women join us on Friday nights. We had a special room for a couple hours. We had some lovely charcuterie boards from Rose and Plum Living, Ada Franklin. We had both of the better halves of Will and Grease came and joined us. And it was so amazing. We have, for a few years now, we've done like a little Women of Whiskey Weekend pin. So if you hadn't gotten to join us before, we gave you one of those. And we just had a great time. It's a fun time for the ladies to get together and talk about all the tasting notes that our lovely other halves don't always get. It's a lovely chance to invite the ladies who maybe don't even enjoy whiskey as much as us, but like wine or other things. I mean, we just love to enjoy this time together. And it was super awesome. We got some fun pictures. We had a fun time. It was really great. So
and I
for
think
supporting that. Thank you for supporting it.
I think this year we had the highest ratio of male to female.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
almost
We sure did.
it was almost half the group was female this year.
Yep.
So
Yep. And it was awesome.
Yep.
Yeah, it was really great. We had so much fun, and we took a silly picture, we took like a regular picture, we had some charcuterie. Like, it was awesome. We had
That
a great
checks
time
out.
just visiting with each other and teasing your wives. It was super awesome.
Well, we couldn't do what we do without you at all. And yeah, you've had an impact on what we've done for a few years now. So,
And give Jason some credit too.
yeah, right.
That buddy, he doesn't even drink whiskey, Melissa, and he just puts up with us.
He just comes. I know. He just comes and he takes the pictures and
Hey,
exactly.
Melissa.
Obviously, just
Oh, go ahead.
go ahead. Oh, he was not there when I was ordering cheeseburgers at like 4 a.m.
Yeah, didn't he say to you? Didn't he say to you like the next morning, like you should have come to bed earlier?
Yeah, he was like, did you not see my text? I was like, babe, I canceled it. It's totally fine. No problem. Me and Shayla, we worked it out. It was all good. We had such a fun time, and we're so grateful for the community you create, because really it is. I mean, people have said that before earlier here, but it's about community. It's about the friendships. It's about the experiences you have. I wouldn't trade that for the world. So thank you both for super hard work on that. Thank you for supporting Women of Whiskey Weekend. And all y'all girls, shout out to you. I see you. We did a great job. We had fun. And yeah, it was super awesome.
Well, I will say, one, that it was great having Jason there again, but I do want to know, because a couple times I forced whiskey upon him. And I said, no, you really need to try this. This is something special. Did he just give it to you and you got a double pour?
No, that Willet you poured in, he did drink that. I will confess, he did drink that.
Okay, good.
He sure did. He sure did. And he is not a fan. I'm a fan of, like you, of the step down approach.
Yeah.
He's not a fan of that. But we have a great time, and it's a lovely chance for us to see the beautiful part of your country. I mean, I'm not going to lie. When we were touring around Jack Daniels, I was like, could my kids make it without me? And like, I could just move here and be a tour guide,
or be a hostess at Miss Mary Bobo's. Like, if
or be a hostess at Miss Mary Bobo's, I could do this.
Will's
job.
dream job is to be an old man at Miss Mary Bobo's and sit down and eat dinner with people
and just tell some stories.
Yes.
And it'd be great because I only have to talk a couple times a day.
Yeah.
Then you can reserve yourself for the next meal. All right, Melissa, you have a great night.
Thank you, Melissa, for all you do, and Jason, thank you for supporting her.
Thanks, guys. Thank you for the effort you guys put in. Thank you for your wives and what they do for us. We just super adorable. Love it. It's great. It's always fantastic.
All right, we'll talk to you
Awesome.
soon.
Love you, Melissa. Melissa also does all of our merch.
Yeah.
It's called Melissa Makes, and we can connect you if you need stuff for your bar
or for your local club,
bourbon club.
Like Bourbon Club. You want some hats, you want some like leather patch hats, stuff like that. She makes the podcast merch
at low quantity.
All awesome. Hey, we've
You can
got
get 10 done.
We've got one more super chat we're gonna hit, and then we can give some final thoughts.
Cool.
I think we'll wrap it up. But TNT, we're dynamite. This is our boy Thomas Rabbit. I believe.
Yeah,
isn't that? That's what it looks
like
like from the picture.
It's Thomas.
Yeah. He says, most special moment was going to Grease's house and seeing the Nook with lots of other fans, also making their pilgrimage to a special place in our hearts. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for a great memory. I also will say, talk about people with quick wit and funny sayings. Thomas Rabbit had me cackling.
Oh, yeah. Well, he won the old Rip Van Winkle at Tarox.
Yes.
At Elixir.
Yes, he did.
And I said something about you're the luckiest guy on the planet. He's already won. He won a guitar last year.
Yeah.
He won, Old Rip 10 this year. And I was just like, you were the luckiest guy ever. And he said, well, I've got
2 rabbits' feet.
2 rabbits' feet.
Yeah.
Because he's Thomas Rabbit. And I was like, you've used that one a lot, haven't you? And he's like, absolutely.
Yeah, guaranteed.
So that was a fun moment. But yeah, Thomas actually pulled me off to the side over here and just says, like, look what you've done. Like, this is like a lot of people, I don't want to say dreams, but like he kind of like threw it out there like that. It was very eye-opening for me that just something casual like that, had such an impact. But he pulled me off to the side just to thanked me and appreciated the moment. And it was a really cool moment. It really was. It was a lot in here, getting to see behind the scenes. And man, we were pulling whiskey from everywhere. I opened up my nicest bottle that I still own. It was an Eagle Rare 17-year BTAC from the fall of 2009.
Yep.
This wasn't last year's Eagle Rare 17. This had some shelf life to it. So it was really fun. Everybody got a pour of that, or a sip is what we'd like to say, but I'm still sniffing it right now. I haven't even.
Yeah, pour me a little bit more of it.
Are you serious?
Yes, I'm serious, Grease.
Why are you acting all mad? You could have come.
No, I'm saying pour me some more of it. I would like to enjoy a little more. Nothing wrong with that. I was just being like, yeah, I'll try it again.
Yeah.
Appreciate you. All right. We got
to talk about Shayla really quick.
We got no calls. So I'm going to go ahead and shut the phone down.
We're shutting down the lines. We're shutting down the phone lines. Okay. That's how we man up right now. But Shayla from Whiskey Central came out too. And Shayla, Friday night, she actually did Matt Madness from the hotel room. And there may or may not be footage of me jumping on her bed.
Yeah.
While they were live.
That's what I've heard.
I jumped on the bed.
Yeah.
I said some things and I was like, I don't know. I said a lot of things that were questionable to say on a bed.
Right. Yeah. I know.
Yeah,
Friday night you made some questionable choices. Yeah.
I did. Yes. And it was lovely. But I was only on there for about 5 minutes, but it was fun popping in, saying, hey, but Shayla, so cool in person. This was the first time meeting her in person for you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Where did you meet her in person? At Pours in the Park?
Pours in the Park. Yeah. That's where I met her first. But yeah, special person at a special weekend.
Yeah.
She flew all the way from Mexico, didn't have phone service, nothing.
Yeah.
But she enjoyed the heck out of it. I'm pretty sure she loves Free Waffle House.
Right. Yeah. I'm glad that I got to indoctrinate a few people. And that, honestly, that is probably one of my favorite memories, even though it was very small. Was that Jason? That's been a dream of Jason's for a long time. And I said we had to do it on Thursday morning to ensure that it happened. But yeah. Oh, this is a good comment from Keith, who is awesome, by the way. Keith is awesome. Spent a lot of time talking with him. Said the only thing missing at Miss Mary Bobo's is a Bourbon Mary. Maybe call it a Bobo Mary.
They're missing the mark. They're literally missing it.
Here's literally the thing. He'd never done breakfast before.
Oh, that's fair.
It was the first breakfast ever at Miss Mary Bobo's, and it was.
We didn't know that, by the way. We didn't know that. We thought this was just normal things. Like, oh yeah, we'll do a breakfast at Miss Mary Bobo's.
And here's the
that sounds great.
Daggum problem with it is that it was one of the best breakfasts I've ever had. There was this hash brown casserole with sausage in it, and just a baked layer of cheese on top. Unbelievable. Sausage was great. Bacon was great. Coffee was very good.
Everybody crapped the bed about the biscuits.
The biscuits that's the problem.
They were like crunchy on the outside, but then just like
so soft, so moist. It's such a great biscuit. And I can't believe that they're holding that out from the world if that's like the one time they've done it.
I don't think they're holding it out. I think that they're just tired. They're like, no, man, we don't.
They should be serving biscuits with every daggum meal because the biscuits were perfect. And if you put those Jack Daniels like candied apples on it, did you do that?
No.
You're so bad at eating. You really are. I love you to death, but you're so bad at eating. If there's a biscuit and a sweet candied apple, you put it on the biscuit.
Well,
I put everyone in my room. I'm talking about Dwayne. I'm talking about Mark.
Well, I wasn't in your room.
I'm talking about Josh. We all did it, and we all lived a better life because of it. It was the best. Yeah, but it's common sense. Delicious, sweet, bourbon candied apple.
Well, I had the preserves. I put the preserves on the sausage biscuit.
Here's a test of your metal. How many biscuits did you eat?
Are you talking about metal, like as in like heavy metal, or are you talking about
just
like
your
award?
Your heft, your strength.
Okay.
How many biscuits did you eat at Miss Mary Bobo's?
3.
Okay, me too. How did you eat the biscuits at Miss Mary Bobo's?
1 with bacon in the middle, and 1 with 2 with sausage in the middle.
And then you said you used the preserves. Which one did you use that on?
Sausage.
You did all of those wrong. Here are the only 3 acceptable answers. 1, just preserves. 1, just preserves. Second one, their gravy. I'm normally.
Oh, I know. I put gravy on it too.
That gravy, unbelievable.
It was great.
Great gravy. You can screw up gravy so badly. They did not. It was a perfect gravy. You can break a gravy. This gravy, unbroken.
Unbroken and unwavered.
Third way, the Jack Daniel's apples.
Okay.
It's a little dessert. A little pick me up.
So you're saying no meat at all on the biscuits? Because you're saying
sausage gravy was the only meat you needed.
You didn't have a sausage patty.
I did not put it on a biscuit. I didn't need to. I had 3 perfect options ahead of me. If I had a 4th, I would have thrown a patty on there.
I don't think you would have.
See how it went. No, well, no. What I would have done is patty with the apples. I would have tried to step it up, sweet and savory.
Right. That's what that was in my head. I just didn't have. I didn't put the apples on them.
By
the way,
Zach Jones just said those biscuits slap harder than family reunion, and that is the only way for this show to end.
There's so they don't cook the whiskey out of the apples, by the way.
Right. They put it in after the fact.
They just put it in after the fact, so you can taste.
Betty Ann was our hostess, and she was a darling of a human being.
Yeah, I heard she was great.
She was awesome.
Yeah, I had a guy. He was really great too.
All of them were great.
He was more like, if y'all want to hear something, let me know. Otherwise, I'm gonna eat.
All right,
he didn't
folks.
say that.
That's going to do it for this recap of Whiskey Weekend. Thank you for all that attended. Thank you for all that watched tonight or listened on your commute or however you consume your podcast. We really appreciate it. And if you're going to do something for us tonight, I would just say go and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Go to youtube.com/thepodcast. If you're an audio listener, subscribe because we got special videos that don't make it to air, but you can watch. They're shorter. You don't have to sit for the whole time. So go to youtube.com/thepodcast, click subscribe. We'd really like to get that number up a little bit, because all I'm saying is that you're not as pretty as Aaron. And
we have to fight for it.
And neither of us have the knowledge,
the sultry
and palates
of
Josh and Aaron.
Yeah.
And they are just blowing us out of the water. So we're really just sitting here, just 2 guys asking for a sub. And that's it.
Subscribe.
You're still thinking about food.
I was.
Yeah.
I was like Italian.
We had Firehouse the first day. It was great.
Yeah, Italian.
All right. Seriously though, go and subscribe to Josh and Aaron at Stuff and Whiskey if you haven't, because he was on earlier and we had a great time getting to know them. That was all in jest but I mean, their content's better, so it makes sense. That's it.
And if you want to hear about Whiskey Weekend first, before anybody else, go to our Patreon, patreon.com/thepodcast. If we get any updates about that, or if we relive memories and stuff, you'll be the first to know about it over there. That's patreon.com/thepodcast.
We don't know Jack,
but we'll drink it.
Bye, y'all.